say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Coming to you live on this Tuesday night, it's the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan here with Greg Anthony and Tim Legler, along with our reporter, Allie LaForce. And a chance now to see how teams are faring across the league. Here's the latest edition of the Power Rankings. And you take a look at this home team, they ascend up the lists to number 3 with some spirited play.
When you look at this visiting team, they're happy with their direction. I mean, with these ratings, remember, it is early, but this is a team with their sights set on a long playoff run.
Now the starting group for the visitors. And it's Sanford in at the small forward. So tonight, Tim, we got a fantastic matchup at the guard position. Indeed, some of the best in the league going head-to-head.
Yeah, this is the very top of the food chain when it comes to guard play in this league. Really no weaknesses out there for either backcourt.
Here's Sanford. From downtown. No good that time. To the paint. Shoots it. Misses the baby hook. The layup missed. Let's check in now with our Allie LaForce, who's got a story for us. Allie?
Well, Mike Brown had a few moments to share with me. Tonight, it's all about how they deal with the dynamic Ja Morant. Coach said, it's simple. We cannot allow Morant to get downhill. That's it. The hard part is actually executing that game plan. Ja has so many moves. He's so quick and relentless. We can't lose track of him even for a moment. Guys?
We appreciate it, Allie. Thank you. Yes, that goes in.
And drawing first blood, you know coach likes that momentum out of the gate.
And that begins what should be a terrific battle between these teams.
Here's Matt. Here's Lawrence. Oh, good on the triple.
Well, you can't make them all, but I doubt the defense wants to give him that kind of look again.
Six on the shot clock. Offline with his 3. Gone 0 of 4, missing their first 4 field goals here.
Just didn't get his hands up in time on that one. They weren't on the same page there.
Gone just 1 of 4 to get this game started. Right side, Scott fires for 3. Sanford with the rebound.
And they're 1 of 5 to start this game. Just really haven't gotten into a flow offensively.
Well, that's a tough matchup because he's skilled and relentless.
And just under 2.5 minutes elapsed here in the first. Takes the 3. The shot, no good.
And on an open look like that, he's very gifted at making the weak coverage pay.
In recent seasons, availability has been a problem for Ja Morant. Greg, dig into that a little bit.
From a league suspension to multiple injuries, Morant has missed a significant amount of time, but we know when he's on the court, he's a game changer.
Here's Matt. Count the basket.
Working his way for a high percentage look. That's just smart basketball.
That's exactly what they wanted on that trip. Get something close to the basket, something easy.
Scott rebounded by Mast. Gone just 2 of 7 so far. A little bit of a slow start for them. Pass to Sanford. that one, no question, powered it down.
Well, for what he lacks in height, he more than makes up for it with his bounce.
And so Mike Brown calls a timeout, looking for a breather and maybe adjusting a thing or two. So it's both teams making substitutions here. With the break in the action, here is the 2K leaderboard to show us the league's best shooting teams last season.
Hard to shoot the ball any better than they did. I mean, they weren't the best in the league, but, man, they were right there.
And the home team has possession.
And really, this is a team that expects to beat everyone when they step on the floor, but they were only able to split the series last year.
Well, they're a great team, but you're going to lose a few, especially going up against a team you don't know that well.
And that one, good.
And a nice job here early of establishing an inside presence.
To the wing on the left. This one for three. Scott pulls it in. Gotten just 3 of the first 9 shots to go down in this game. .130 left here in the opening quarter. Fades away and sinks the tough shot.
You know, maybe save that fadeaway move for when he really needs it.
Pass to Sanford. Can't get it to fall.
Well, the defense challenged him just enough to force that miss. They really collapsed when he got close to the rim.
Count it.
And he found the soft spot in the D on that possession.
And a lowly 30% to start this game out. Off target from outside.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Here's Scott. It's good. It's his second basket. He's shooting 2 for 4.
And I need to see some more assertiveness out of these defenders.
8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Down low. And nothing is falling for him right now. Shoots from the elbow. Can change shot. And the last second attempt does not go in for him. And that does it for the first quarter. Up by 6. And we'll get the second quarter underway on the other side of this break. And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. Guys, what's your take on the home team so far?
I mean, the rebounding was the difference in that first period. You've got to block these guys out.
You give any team this many second chance opportunities, it's going to put you in control.
Right now, let's take a moment here to catch up with Allie LaForce on the sidelines.
Thank you so much. Keegan Murray wants to excel at both ends, and he said said, quote, "My defense wasn't where it needed to be, so I got a little faster, a little stronger, tried to figure out how to be physical defensively and be effective. Them trusting me to guard helps the other guys so they can focus more on offense." Kevin, back to you.
All right, Allie, thanks a lot. Rebounded by Mast. Mast got 4 rebounds in this game. Pass to Garcia. Here's Jacobson. He has yet to score. Clock at 6. Here's Garcia. Lets it go with a 3. His first shot is a miss. 0 for 1 to start the contest. The 11-footer. And the basket good. A bank shot that time. 5 points in the game. Second quarter of action, about a minute and a half played. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
And so now a timeout called by Jason Kidd. He's ready to talk things through with them. Both teams will make substitutions. And one way players look to expand their game, adding counter moves to keep defenders off balance. Greg, what was something you added that really gave defenders pause?
You know, the snatch back pull up, you know, using your speed to kind of get the defender going downhill, and then you slam on the brakes and just create that separation to then go into attack mode.
Here's Jacobson. No scoring in this one. That misses, so no good on his first attempt of the night.
A slight advantage for them in the rebound department, but that oftentimes is all it takes.
Guarded by Garcia. The shot goes in. First shot, first basket.
They've settled into a nice groove offensively here in the second.
Here's Mast. Lays it up off the glass. Mast got his third basket of the night right there.
And they've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball in the paint.
Shot clock at 6. A three-pointer off the mark.
Well, I'm surprised he missed that one. He is a dangerous guy to leave open.
Here in the second quarter, we've played a little over 2.5 minutes now. Here's Hoiberg. That does not fall. Still looking for his first basket after 3 shots. That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2.
Unwilling to let up even for a moment. That's his killer instinct, just fanning the flame.
Yeah, he can taste a win right now, just trying to close it out.
Mast, that's good.
Yeah, it's such a sweet three-point stroke there. And it can really open things up inside because as good as he shoots it, it forces the opposing bigs to have to step out on the perimeter.
And so Mike Brown calls a timeout. Coach is going to take a few minutes to regroup and go over the strategy.
Substitution on the court.
Here's Perry. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And he hits it just before the shot clock expires. 6 points for him.
Big miscommunication on defense. He recognizes it and quickly takes advantage.
Well, the way this game is going, I'm actually not surprised it was that easy for him.
Now here is Garcia. Still without a basket. And it's off from three-point range.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
There's a screen. No one near him. And he connects with the jumper.
Just playing with poise and confidence, and they continue to put points on the board.
I love their approach tonight. They are hitting at a really high percentage.
Now here is Garcia. And it ends up out of bounds. And now let's have a look at the teams that were last year's best from the free throw line.
And last year, this team was so composed at the line. They would love to repeat that success.
Leo Curtis.
There's a minute 34 left here in the second. From outside the arc, misses his second shot in 4 attempts from the field. Here's Curtis, laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
And that is a high-quality shot. You will take it every time from that close.
.54 seconds left now here in the second. And he banks in the layup. 6 points for him.
Their interior has been inferior defensively. It has got to tighten up.
Pass to Hoiberg. Here's Sanford. Misses the 3. 30 seconds left in the first half. And the layup falls.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Gone 4 of 10 in the second quarter from the field. Here's Hoiberg. Still yet to score. Here's Curtis. Off target from the wing. To the paint. And the layup's good off the glass.
I mean, the number of points they've scored in the paint already here is eye-opening.
And so a pretty lopsided game through the first half. Up by 16. Well, we've got a moment now. Let's go courtside to Allie LaForce. Allie.
Thanks so much, guys. Sue, a strong first half for this team. What was the mindset that gave you guys the lead?
We just had to be ourselves, just be ourselves, move the ball, play the unselfish, and we're going to get ourselves an offense.
Stay true to you, guys.
Thank you, Allie. And folks, don't go away. Halftime is here, and we'll be right back with you after this break.
Thanks for stopping by, everybody. The story tonight, everything, and I mean everything, is working well.
The ball has energy tonight, Shaq. I mean, they're looking for each other out there. They're finding scorers in their right spots.
Doo-doo. Doo-doo. You guys hear that? Doo-doo.
What's that?
That's the heart of their game, beating strong out there. Doo-doo. Doo-doo.
And changing it up, my favorite segment, social media posts. All right, fellas, we've got a question from Crossover Zeddy. Shaq is the Diesel. Kenny is the Jet. Why doesn't Ernie have a nickname?
Ernie does have a nickname. It's EJ.
Those are just initials, Shaq.
Oh, like MJ?
I still don't think that's a nickname, but I think we can all agree EJ is the MJ of studio hosts.
And you could just call me the Elevator.
Ooh, Elevator Ernie.
And that concludes halftime. Now time to send it over to Kevin Harlan as the game's about to resume.
And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. So with Smith sitting on the bench, this is the group Mike Brown has right now. From the arc, rebounded by Mast. Mast got rebound number 5 here tonight. Hoiberg passes to Mast. Here's Sanford. Off target with his 3.
Well, he wants to shoot his way out of this cold spell, but the struggles continue.
And he doesn't have to do it alone. He's got 4 teammates on the floor.
And they're passing the ball very crisply here.
Here's Hoiberg. Still scoreless. And stolen by Scott. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
Nice pass here to set that basket up.
Around 29% from the floor. Tough night for them all around on the offensive end. There's the screen. Off target from three-point range.
And the great shooters know when they've got enough opening to go for the 3. I didn't think it was a bad choice on that possession.
Inside. Yep, that one goes. Scott's got 8 points.
His shooting has been outstanding. Definitely one of the reasons they're up in this game.
One thing is certain about Anthony Simons, the guy is a pure scorer.
Well, it comes so naturally to him. He's got a great handle, and he can get his shot off whenever he wants. Plus, he's got limitless range.
2 on the clock. He doesn't hit that one. On 3 of 4 so far in the third quarter from the field. Pretty good start to the half. Tries the spin move. Stripped away. To the inside. Pass to Mast. Here's Sanford. His 3-pointers off the mark.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
Outside, Scott, 13 feet away, and he comes up with the deuce. 8 points for him.
Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
Gone 0 of 4 from the field in the second half. Yet to find the mark. Right now, let's take a second to catch up with Allie LaForce on the sideline.
Thanks a lot. So are dynasties a thing of the past? Well, Commissioner Adam Silver said, I'm fine with dynasties and I'm fine with new teams emerging every year. What the fans want to see is great competition. As long as teams are emerging through great management, let the results happen however they play out. Back to you guys.
You just want a fair fight. Okay, thank you, Allie. At one point, your dream was to play professional baseball. Why did you switch?
Kevin, it really came down to this. Hit a growth spurt when I was 14 years old, and I decided to go try this basketball thing that first year in high school. As it turns out, what I fell in love with, I didn't need anybody else to get better. I had an insatiable work ethic. It lent itself to hours and hours on the basketball court by myself.
That is such an interesting perspective. Here's Lawrence. They can use a bucket, and he gets the basket. Officials blowing the whistle, so a chance at the line for one more.
And obviously his momentum from the last game has carried over here tonight.
When someone is rolling like this, just keep feeding him. That's just great coaching.
Gotten 4 of the first 5 second-half shots to fall. 80% since the break. Third quarter action, and just under 3.5 minutes have gone. Over to the left wing. Pass to Scott. 6 to shoot. Lets it go from deep. Rebounded by Mast. Mast got his 6th rebound on the night. Fires from deep. That's no good, but only his first miss in 6 shots. In about 59% from the floor offensively, they've been running without a hitch. To the middle. Gets it to drop, and now he's shooting at a 5 for 8 clip.
That's very smart use of the screen, and it sets up a very close look.
Lawrence passes to Mast. To the paint. Off with the layup. Gone 5 of 7 from the field in the third quarter. Let's see if they can keep it up. And the shot goes in. Scott's got 10 points in the game.
And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
Jacobson, the pass to Mast. Over Scott. Mast, no good. Gone 6 of 8 on field goal attempts in the third. A 75% clip. When LeBron's playing days are over, and GA, who knows when that'll be, what will you remember most about his play?
You know, I don't think there's ever been a player who came into the league with such lofty expectations and not only met those expectations, but fair to say, he's exceeded them.
That was a breakdown defensively, but he couldn't take advantage.
Sanford with the rebound.
Well, he got the shot he loves, and the defense should honestly be relieved he didn't punish them for being a little bit soft there in the mid-range.
That 3 off the mark.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Pass to Scott. 3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Right wing. And there it is for him. 12 points for him.
Well, he is really filling it up, but also keeping others involved.
Here's Mast. For 3. And no good on the last second attempt this time. And as we conclude the third quarter, pretty much a blowout. It's been a one-sided affair. Delivering the blowout. And don't go away. We'll be back momentarily. A chance now to hear Jason Kidd talking to his team moments ago.
We're not talking to each other. Offensively or defensively, let's talk.
And Coach Jason Kidd citing one of the things that can happen over the course of an evening, a breakdown in communication.
And the problem is, even in a league of superstars, this is ultimately a team game. You have to work together to succeed.
And there have been 2 very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. Here's Perry. Tim, the NBA is always changing, but any predictions for the league that you kind of feel we're going to see around the corner?
Yeah, Kevin, I just think the influx and the impact of international players is going to be even stronger going forward. I think a lot of guys have seen the success that those players have had in the NBA, and hopefully it inspires even more great players internationally to want to play this great game.
And for a short time, you played overseas. You saw a lot of them firsthand.
I sure did, and I was in France well before the French influx really hit this league, but I knew then that was the goal.
And the first one drops. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. And they are really racking up the assists in this one.
And their team chemistry is evident. These guys enjoy playing with one another.
Lets it go. He hits the back iron and sinks the shot.
Now that's a high percentage look when the D doesn't fight over the screen.
Yeah, and that's the effectiveness of the two-man game right there.
Now here is Garcia. The 11-footer, it doesn't go for him.
The inside just a bit too congested for him to get the usual shot he would have with rhythm.
And that one is good.
Haven't we seen that a few times today, guys? I mean, their defense has got to have a little bit more toughness about it.
And we're about 2 minutes into the fourth quarter now. So when you look at different approaches to player recovery, from load management, say, Tim, to rub some dirt on it and get back in there, where do you stand on all of that?
Well, I do think teams have done a better job of trying to make sure players are protected from themselves and make sure they're getting enough rest. But I also think there are times guys should be allowed to play through certain types of minor injuries.
And really the story of this second half, one team getting the shots they want, the other not so much.
And that's just good coaching. They have made the better adjustments.
Fires the three. That shot off.
You have to defend the three-point line. They got lucky he missed that one.
Here's the screen. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for two.
First team foul. At the line for two, number 13.
And he makes the first. Both teams deciding to change it up. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. So, Tim, in the past, it's always been accepted that the veteran-laden teams would have an edge. But I don't know if we're seeing that as much now. What do you think?
Well, I think you used to see a lot more continuity with rosters across a number of years. But nowadays, much shorter contracts means you have teams that evolve and change more regularly than ever before.
Almost feels like you got to be more nimble as a franchise than ever before.
You absolutely have to have much more forethought because you keep these groups together for a shorter period of time.
Pass to Perry. Puts up a three. Drains it from beyond the arc.
Boy, you have to be impressed with the offensive production. They have got it firing on all cylinders.
Well, you have to love the execution, and you have to love the relentlessness.
1:56 left to play here in the fourth. You know, Tim, you hear some players now feeling they're being unfairly criticized. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I do believe it can get personal at times, but listen, if you are in this league, I think it helps to have thick skin because you are going to be criticized from time to time.
But players do pay attention, don't they? They know what's being said and written.
They pay a lot more attention than they let on, Kevin, believe me. And if they're not listening, somebody in their inner circle is, I promise you that.
.110 left here in the fourth quarter. Fires the three. Nailed from three-point land.
It's been this way since halftime. Tremendous production from beyond the arc.
They have found a weakness in the defense, and it's on their ability to defend the three-point line.
.43 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. They set the screen. Does not get it. Third miss. He's made 4 from the field. Here's Hoiberg. There's 21 seconds left in the fourth quarter. The shot off that time.
Well, if you take low percentage shots, you are going to have difficulty making them.
And so the home crowd treated to a win. And the outcome of this one was never in doubt.
And boy, they really put in a supreme effort. It just felt like once they had that lead and it was comfortable, they were not going to relinquish it.
Now we have a moment to go courtside. Allie LaForce has got something for us.
LeBron, you've accomplished so much in this league. How have you been able to sustain it for so long?
You know, it's only a select few. It's not many who make it to this point. And I would never take the game for granted. That's why I try to give everything I can till I can't give no more. And I've been around some great players, great coaches, great organizations. And for me to have this opportunity right here means a lot, and I'm very humble.
Well, you're a sponge for knowledge, and you have a great work ethic, and it's been fun to watch. Thanks, LeBron.
Terrific, Allie. Thanks. And that'll do it, folks. Alongside Tim Legler, Greg Anthony, and our reporter, Allie LaForce, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching, folks. And as we leave, we present our player of the game.